Yes. Okay. So, how many you here know this song? I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. No, I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. Sing. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake, alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. Okay. Thank you. What are the 7 characteristics of life? Nutrition is 1, reproduction, excretion, growth, sensitivity, I'm going to divide you into 4 groups. Okay, since you are now in your group, so I make our representative from the group to draw your last in whatever way you perform and present your output. Either radio broadcasting, in the form of jingle, form of a poem, or an essay, or talk show. Forward. Okay. Okay, so your group. Okay, your group. Poem. Okay. Jingle. Okay, this group jingle. How about that group? Essay. And then talk show. Okay, this time you start now your brainstorming. Okay, let's welcome them with a round of applause.
Have a good night to everyone. So, our guest for today is Arlene Simanya, Churi Garbu, and Janvi Cinco. Let's give them a round of applause. So, guys, how's your day? It's fine. Our show, me and Chloe prepared some questions to answer and explain to us. First, what are the 7 characteristics of life?
The 7 characteristics of life is first is nutrition, second is reproduction, third is excretion, fourth is growth, fifth is sensitivity, sixth is preparation, and last is movement.
That's great. Next question. Among the 7 characteristics of life, what is the most important for you and why did you choose that?
For me, they are all important because without one of them, we can't be alive. And I chose them because, like I said, they are all important without one.
That's great. Third question. How does reproduction work?
All living things are made of cells. We energy respond and stimulate, grow and reproduce and maintain homeostasis. All living things consist one or more cells. Cells are basic units and structure and function of living organisms.
Last, which is a basic characteristic of all living cells?
As I say, all living things are made of cells. We energy respond as stimulate, grow and reproduce and maintain homeostasis. All living things consist of one or more cells. Cells are the basic units of structure and functions of living organisms.
So this is the end of our show. Thank you for your time and we hope you enjoyed the show.
Life cycle.
Life is so strange. Nothing stays the same. Everything changes. But who to blame? Life is a game where you have to lose before you gain. With the win, you have to face the whole game. Life of 7 characteristics that we apply to our daily lives. Characteristics that we should know to have healthy and productive life. You only care about yourself and not anyone. You talk with protection without caring for everyone. You have no knowledge, suspicion can kill you, and confusion can make you malleable. Being sensitive to others' feelings can make your hearts and minds open. Don't guard living things, and don't act below the animals. Roads paths is broad. Some are fast, some are slow. Just keep moving and moving forward, and to continue to grow. Just remember when you next break down and cry. Be proud of you and the way that you want. You have to be strong, stop holding on, and never relax. Waiting for your last goodbye.
Okay? Group to perform is the group of essay. Present their output in the form of essay. So they are the group that integrate ICT, so computer. So
What is the living thing? Living things are systems or organisms that tend to respond to changes in their environment and inside themselves in such a way to promote their own concentration and longevity. There are the ones that have the ability to breathe or expand, can move or navigate or consequently have the ability to expand. These living things include human beings, plants, insects, animals, and small animals. A living thing is defined as using of these qualities: movement, respiration, sensitivity, growth, reproduction, excretion, and nutrition. Only living things and all living things have these functions. A living thing is any organism that displays all the characteristics of life. What are the 7 characteristics of life? The 7 characteristics of life.
so what is this? Their output is the group that will present their and perform their jingle. So let's welcome them with a round of applause. Okay. Thank you. Okay. How would you recognize that that particular thing is alive?
Sir,
Okay, Lazada.
For me, the way to recognize that a particular thing is alive is by determining the 7 characteristics of life. If that particular thing move, respire, sense, grow, reproduce,
thing is life, and if it is not, then it is not life.
Okay, very good. Okay, what would happen if you are not able to breathe fresh air? Okay, explain your reason. Okay. Okay. There are 7 characteristics of life, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what do you think is the most important among the 7 characteristics of life? Tell one. Isiman niya. Okay, respiration. Why?
Because respiration provides the energy. So living organisms like us humans will perform all of the necessary functions to maintain life. Also, respirations, all living things need oxygen.
Okay, oxygen. Okay. What are the best practices for us to sustain life?
And also, we need to drink more water to avoid dehydration, and we need to exercise to avoid so that we will not be.
So, consider again. Okay, and we eat, so that is for nutrition. Then exercise. Then drink more water. Those are the 3. Okay, top 3. So, but still, the other characteristics is necessary.
Really obvious. A bird is alive, rocks are not alive, and you don't need a biology teacher to tell you that. We can go ahead and look at all of the different groups of living things we know of. We've got birds and bacteria and trees and viruses and mammals and insects, and the list goes on and on and on. What living things do these 7 specific characteristics? To remember what they are, we remember the name Mrs. Gray. All living things can move, they can respire, they can sense, they can grow in cells that break down nutrient molecules and release energy. And you might be familiar with the idea of glucose and oxygen being converted to carbon dioxide and water in humans and lots of other organisms as well. This is just one example of a type of respiration. All living things can sense, and that is the ability to detect stimuli in the internal or external environment and make responses. So, obvious ones, seeing with eyes and being able to smell and hear, that kind of thing. But another one in plants would be leaves knowing which direction the light is in, or knowing which direction gravity is in, so being able to move towards it, grow in the right direction or away from it. All living things can grow, and this is the permanent increase in size or dry mass by increasing cell number and or cell size. And this definition distinguishes it from, for example, putting weight on, which is a kind of growing, but not in the sense of the characteristics of living organisms. All living things can reproduce, and this is making more of the same kind of an organism. So, for example, bacteria cells will divide to produce more of them. Humans have babies. Flowering plants produce seeds, etc. All living things can excrete and released. And lastly, all living things need nutrition, and this is taking in of materials for energy, growth and development. Plants require light, water, carbon dioxide and ions. And
The mnemonic for you to remember the characteristics of life? Mrs. Green. Okay, so M stands for what? M? M. Movement. Then next, respire. S. Sense or sensitivity. Then G. Growth. Then R. Reproduce. And E. Excrete. And last is? Okay, nutrition. How would you recognize that that particular thing is alive? Okay, this is green. So the 7 characteristics of life is the 1. Then, how would you differentiate the growth in plants? It is explained there in the video. So the difference between plants and animals in terms of the characteristics. Now the question is, how would you differentiate between the growth in plants and growth in animals? Is there any difference?
Because living things can move and non-living things can't move.
Then in
Bigger plants increase their size in all directions and their shape is changing all the time.
next question, what is the most important among the 7 characteristics of life? Okay. What is the most important among the 7 characteristics of life? Then tell why. Okay. Anybody? Then why?
Because our energy comes from the food that we eat, and without energy, we can't move,
Okay.
we can't reproduce, we can't experience.
Okay, we cannot do what we want. So the rest of the characteristics is nothing without nutrition and energy. As practices for us to sustain life. So what would happen if you were not able to breathe fresh air?
You will definitely die.
Okay, so we will definitely die. Why? Okay, again?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. Very good. View this documentary video about the 8 laws of health. So, what is discussed in the video? So, the 8 principles of health to sustain what? Life. So, it is, and the mnemonic is, here the New Start. New Start stands for what? Okay, following question at the back of the page. So you have here, how do green plants make their own foods? Okay, how do green plants make their own food? Then, do plants have any organs for excretion? So you have the question there. Then, how do plants breathe? Okay, so you're given 3 minutes to answer that one. So, for your assignment, you're going to answer the following, studying one up crosswise. What is nutrition? Why is it considered as necessity for life? Then why are leaves green? And where are seeds produced? So thank you for your participation. Okay.